Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Talk Books. This is episode 5 now. We've had a little bit of a hiatus here. That was not intentional, but we had some sickness earlier in the month, and I'm sure you can relate, just life in general. So I would like to try to get back to a more predictable schedule here. The intent was to come on weekly, so we'll see what happens. But I still like to be here in this space talking to you about books. My most recent thriller that I really enjoyed is called Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. I had not read anything by her before, but I'm definitely excited to check out her other work because this book was unputdownable. I had kind of been in a little bit of a reading slump and definitely wasn't coming upon a thriller specifically that I was really getting into. I had come off of a kind of a slow burn thriller. There's slow burn romance and then slow burn thrillers where it just takes a while for something to happen. This one gripped me immediately right off the start. So a quick synopsis here. I'll read this little blurb on the inside too. It says, "What if you thought you murdered your best friend? And if everyone else thought so too? And what if the truth doesn't matter?" So that right away kind of grabs your attention. So there's a main protagonist in this book, a main woman character. Her name is Lucy. So yeah, right from the get-go, you can tell she's going to be an unreliable narrator where you don't really know, if she's telling the truth or she even knows what's going on. So that's what the whole book is about, is basically finding out, did I not kill my best friend? You'd think somebody would know that. But I don't really want to give anything away about what happens the night of that murder and why she's not able to kind of piece everything together. But yeah, she's trying to figure it out, and then Ben comes to town, who is the host of a podcast called Listen for the Lie. So the title of the book is the name of the podcast. He comes to town and he's trying to uncover the truth as well. And ends up getting Lucy to agree to talk to him for the podcast, which he thought was odd, because you're thinking, if somebody's got something to hide, are they really gonna talk to you about it? So it's kind of the two of them team up, trying to really figure out what happened that night. It goes back and forth between Lucy narrating the story, and then there's podcast elements throughout, where it's like an interview piece. So it shows Ben, the host of the podcast, interviewing Lucy at times, and then other characters that she was close with. So that's the synopsis there. And now I'll have Corey ask me the questions.
What was your overall opinion of this book?
I absolutely loved it. I loved it from the first page. I was even laughing right away on the first page, which you probably think is weird for a thriller, but the character was she was funny. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
How did it make you feel?
Like I said, I actually found myself laughing, but also I just couldn't turn the pages fast enough. I just wanted to know what was going to happen. It was very easy to get inside Lucy's head throughout the entire story. So I felt like she was a very likable character. So if we're talking about how it made me feel, it made me feel, I don't know if kindred spirit is the right word, but you almost could feel frustrated for her as she's also trying to figure out what really happened that night.
Would you recommend this book?
Definitely. I've already been doing a lot of that, and then every time I see somebody else recommend it on Instagram, I'm like, yes, I read that too. It was so good. So I think if somebody was trying to come out of a reading slump like I was, and they do like thrillers, especially, I would absolutely recommend it. It's, on the shorter-ish end and super short chapters too. So just a really easy read.
What was your favorite and the least favorite part?
I don't know. My favorite part was Lucy. I really loved the main character. Sometimes you read a book and the main character isn't even super likable, and then you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna like the book overall. So that's really important when an author writes a story, to just really hopefully draw readers in so that they really genuinely like the main character. But I also loved Lucy's grandmother in the book. She was a hoot. I really liked her. So I'd say that was probably my favorite. Just any part that her grandma was in was my favorite. And then least favorite, I don't know. There really wasn't much that I disliked about the book, so that's kind of a hard question to answer. I would say I have a hard time with endings that aren't tied up with a nice bow. Like where it's like kind of like it leaves you hanging in a sense, where it's like it could have gone this way, it could have gone that way. There's not like a definitive resolution. I think that's the word I'm looking for. It's like left up to the reader's interpretation. But because I enjoyed the book overall so much, I was able to get past that.
Did the book teach you anything?
I don't know. There was some drama, of course, throughout the book as well. So maybe it taught me to be careful who you spend your time with. I don't know. Like, be careful who you're surrounding yourself with, because you might end up killed. I don't know. Or you might, or I don't know. It just, seems like probably sounds cheesy because the word lie is in the title. But yeah, just like be careful who you can trust, I guess. And deciding to be a trustworthy individual yourself, something you should do. It's probably a good idea.
So how would you rate this book?
I gave this a very easy 5 stars. If I went on I always like to joke when I have been obsessed with a book that I'm like, oh, it's more like 10 out of 5 stars. If I was going beyond 5 stars, but it was very good. Yeah, I really, really liked it.
That's it?
I think that's it.
That's cool.
Yeah, so the other thing I wanted to say is if you're a podcast listener, which I am not actually, it's kind of funny that I don't do that because I listen to audiobooks, which is similar to listening to a podcast. But I found that I really like books that have the podcast element. I just think it's really interesting. It just gives the book something extra or different than maybe another thriller that you would read, because it's cool for it to go back and forth between the main character, and then to have those little blurbs from the podcast. I just think it adds something extra to the story, because there was a different book that I liked as well, that was similar. I liked this one more, but another one to check out that if you have read this, or if you want to have 2 suggestions, None of This Is True is another one. But yeah, comment below if you have questions about that one, since that's not the one I'm doing a review on right now, but just one that has that podcast element with it. But yeah, that's all I've got. So we will see you next time.
We'll see you.